What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. This video is gonna be a little different, right? This video is going to be made with love from me, okay? It's not a fitness video, it's not a movie video. This video is gonna be about video games and how things have changed over the years and stuff like that. And basically, you know, how gaming has been through my entire career of gaming. I'm not sure. I'm old, right? So I've been gaming for a long time, and I've been with the last generation, or maybe even two generations before, and this generation. I started with a Super Nintendo, except we had the original Nintendo. You know, the one with the little thing, and you put the game in and press it down, and then you push it. We had that one, but when I was born, the Super Nintendo was hot, right? That was right when it came out. That's how old I am. That's the generation I come from, okay? I became a Sony brat, which we call them Sony brats, or Sony ponies, right? I've had every single PlayStation that was ever created, except for the PlayStation Go or some shit. It was the one that came, it was a handheld that was supposed to come out in Japan. It never did, and it never made it over to this side. That was the only one that. But I've gotten every single one. I've had the PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Vita, PSP, all the shits. I've had them all. The only thing, the other thing I don't have is the PlayStation Portal. The PS5 thing that you can play. I need one. I'm gonna get it. I've been a gamer my whole life, okay? And I've gone through the whole having no responsibilities and being a kid and just being able to immerse myself into a world of a video game. Online games didn't exist back in the day. Everything was either story based or everything was like competition, right? So it was like a fighting game and you had to play with your friends, or you had, like a Mario Party style game. So pretty much I grew up playing video games and having having that time where I could just sit down and play a game. And then came my teenage years. As a teenager, going to high school and going to, I played football and I ran track and I did all these things. I was an athlete. I didn't have as much time to play video games during the weekdays. But fortunately for me, I had a squad of people who played video games heavily. So I always had a lobby to hop into. When online gaming came out I started playing online in 2006-ish with Xbox Live. And if you were around for Xbox Live, you know how brutal those lobbies got, right? But I do remember as a teenager, gaming was a little bit more fun because it was more with my friends. Gaming earlier was more by yourself. You had your story-driven games and you had I played like a Final Fantasy VII when I was younger. I played Legend of the Dragoon, mind you, these are PlayStation games. Crash Bandicoot, not Uncharted, Jak and Daxter, stuff like that. Spyro, all that shit you played alone. Mario. Then you get into Kingdom Hearts, fucking shit like that. Then you got into my teenage years when Call of Duty got real big in the mid 2000s, or is that the early 2000s, like 04, 5, 6. That's when shit got real. Halo was big. The only game like that from back in the day was 007 GoldenEye, which I don't think y'all know shit about GoldenEye. GoldenEye was lit. If you picked Objob, you were a bitch. That's a fact. If you was an Oddjob person, you're a bitch. I'm saying it right now, and you know who you are. But in all seriousness, that was the first multiplayer, the best multiplayer shooter back in the day. And then you had your Halos and your Call of Duties and all these other games that we had. But once online came out, it changed the game because I was able to play against somebody else from down the street, across the world actually. But we really played with each other. Like my football team, I'll never forget, man. We had everybody. My quarterback, the other receivers in the receivers room. We had the defensive backs, and then I switched over to DB, and we still played against the receivers. We had everybody involved, and we were playing Call of Duty after practice. We would go to practice, bullshit with each other, and then literally come home and hop on a game. And I see it happening now. My nephew plays football, and he's doing the same thing. I play a lot of games with him just to keep myself alive, just to bond with him. Also, it keeps me in the shit, but we'll get there later. But lately I've been talking to a couple people, and I hear the same thing. Video games are a waste of time. And I want to talk about that because I do not believe they are. I strongly disagree. I do think video games do serve a purpose. And it's usually people who don't play video games that say that shit, who've never played, like they never were serious about it. One of them, she says she played Minecraft. I don't believe it. Here's why I don't think they're a waste of time. Video games, if done right, it's not brain rot. It's not like you're not doing it. You're just kind of just mindlessly like, It requires critical thinking. It brings a level of competition. It requires problem solving. You have to read sometimes. All of the same things you'd be doing. I mean, yes, you're not, it's multifaceted though. You're not sitting there just reading a book. Like if I wanted to read this macros pamphlet, right? I got to pick it up. I got to read the shit. But if I have a mission to do in a video game, I have to read the prompt. I have to read the fucking, like when the character is talking sometimes, they got shit you got to read. Sometimes you have to read the story. You have to read your next objective. You have to read all that stuff. Then there's the competition aspect. I've got to, it keeps me, what's the word? I'm trying to think. My masculine urge to just beat somebody at something. Is that unhealthy? That's very unhealthy. But I have to, it has that, it gives you that masculine drive to be the top at something. I come home here, I hop on that Mortal Kombat. Yes, if you want it in Mortal Kombat, come get it with your boy, right? I hop on the Mortal Kombat and I play. We got Naruto Storm Generations. It's not my favorite, but we play that. My nephew plays Madden. I'm not going to get on Madden. My nephew will mess you up. If you want that, find him on the Madden. But I say all that to say, there is yes, video games are not your typical form of media that's going to get you somewhere in life. Maybe. Right? Look at all these Twitch streamers that are making way more money than I've ever seen in my life. And these Twitch streamers are making double the income of all three of the people that told me that video games are a waste of time combined. How? That's what I'm saying. Will I ever be a Twitch streamer, a famous one? That may be in the cards for me, maybe not. I don't know. But I do know I love playing video games. And I do know it's not a waste of time. I could attribute the dialect that I speak with to video games, partially. Maybe it's where I grew up. It's a few things, right? I'm learning Spanish. I might start playing my video games in Spanish, en español. They're not a waste of time. Also, the same people that talk about that are stressed the fuck out all the time. Video games are a way to decompress and debrief. It's not a waste of time, I'm telling y'all. There's other things that you can be doing, but that is just one thing that you can do. It's almost like I'd rather go walk outside than play video games. What for what? It's like a either or thing, right? Yeah, you can go get your cardio in, but what if you already did your cardio at the gym? You're just gonna go walk outside again? For what? Play the video game. Help your mind. Help clear your mind. Problem solve. Get that level of competition. Listen, it don't make no sense. The next thing I'll talk about is the money grab that video games are becoming. It was a better time back in the day when I was growing up playing video games where games were just games. You get immersed in that story and you play the game till it's finished. You cry, you laugh, you clap. These games, these AAA games that were coming out back in the day were phenomenal. Phenomenal. The one, the example I'll give you is The Last of Us, the first one. In 2013, I will never forget playing that game and being captivated. Captivated, like, oh my God, this shit is fire. I felt what Joel and Ellie felt. I remember feeling all of that shit. And being immersed in that world, and like when Ellie was with David and the part where she had to put David out, and then Joel came up and he grabbed her, and the first time he called somebody baby girl was Ellie. He used to call his daughter that back in the day when she passed away, and he couldn't love again. He could never put himself in the position to love someone the way he loved Sarah. And then he's traveled this entire way with this other girl that was supposed to be just a handoff. He was supposed to take her out there, hand her off, and go. But he fell in love with this girl like his own daughter. Listen, I'm telling y'all, listen, bro, what? The writing and the acting, all the shit was so fire in that game. I'm telling you, that was the greatest shit ever back in the day. The games aren't like that no more. Anymore, sorry. God of War 2018. Oh my God, that was fire. We need more games like that. Okay? Every game nowadays that comes out, it's like half made. Oh, $40.99, you get the DLC, and then you could put the bits and pieces together, and then you can play the game again once you buy the DLC, and now it's more complete. Fuck you. Bro, what? You mean to tell me I pay $60 for half a made game, and then I gotta pay another $40 for the other half of the game, so it's a $100 game, and then the DLC don't come out for like another 3, 4, 5 months? Y'all are on some bullshit with that. What the fuck is going on? Put the game out. Put the fucking game out. I'm talking with my dog Cats, right? And we were talking about gaming and how gaming was back in the day. He's a decade younger than me, but like, let's talk about like Super Smash Brothers for example. Back in the day in Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Smash Brothers, and the Super Smash Brothers Brawl, right? In order to unlock a new character, you would have to play the game, do a specific set of things, complete a specific set of events, and then the character would appear. New challenger appears. You have to beat the fuck out of that character, and then you unlock the character. It's yours. You earned it. Nowadays, it's not like that. Nowadays, for $3.99, you get this special character right here. For $3.99, you can have this one too. But also, if you spend $20, you get all of them. You get the whole catalog of characters. Man, what the fuck, dude? In Mortal Kombat 2, back in the day, there was so many secret characters that you had to get, and you had to know how to get them. You had to beat them, and then they become yours. What the fuck is going on? I have to buy everything. It's just a money grab. It's just a fucking money grab, and I fucking hate it. I'm not gonna lie. Will we ever go back to the times where games were fun and you had to earn everything? Like Negan said, you earn your keep. You earn what you keep. I'm not gonna pay my way in just to get to a fucking character. Like in Mortal Kombat 1, you gotta buy all the fucking characters. I can't go through the story and unlock Takeda. You have to buy him. Olvídalo. So another thing I want to talk about is like story games versus multiplayer games and competitive, like the competitive multiplayer games. I'm somebody, and tell me in the comments below if you are the same way. I'm somebody that really, really, really loves a good story-driven game. I'm really about like a good narrative game. Like God of War. Like Last of Us. Even Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 is funny because at first you were like, this shit is ass. Then when you beat the game, you're like, huh. I mean, then you play it again and you go, oh, fuck. Then like 5 years later, after the game is done, you're like, that's just kind of fire. I ain't gonna hold you. Naughty Dog, you got it, bro. Y'all did it, man. If you ever give us a Last of Us 3, just please make it like the first one where, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was straightforward. It was fucking fire the whole way through. I was geeked playing the whole game. But I love a story-driven narrative game. Ain't nothing like it, man. However, I'm a fighting game nut, right? I will play you in Mortal Kombat. I will play you in Street Fighter. And unless you are a god tier player in those games, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm lit like that. I'm really like that. Dragon Ball Fighters, I was like that. Mortal Kombat X, I was like that back then. If I picked it up now, I'd have an issue. Okay, so the final thing I'll talk about is just my experience with video games growing up from childhood to adolescence / teenage years to as an adult now. So, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, when I was a kid, I didn't have any responsibilities. I could play video games all day. Not all day. Obviously, you had school, and then you come home. You're supposed to do your homework. Did I do my homework? However, if I did do my homework, I did my homework so that I could play video games all day, for the rest of the night. There were times where I would play video games all night long, and then back in the day, you couldn't just save your game all the time. So I would just turn off the TV, leave the console on, and sleep. Wake up in the morning, play a little bit more before breakfast, do the same thing, turn it off, go to school all day, come back home, and pick up right where I left off and try to beat the game that way. I did that with Final Fantasy VII like 10 times. Until memory cards, and then you get a memory card, and then you get to save your game, and you could turn the shit off and not blow your console up, right? I'll never forget Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Fun fact, when Kingdom Hearts 1 came out and my mom bought the game for me, I remember getting the flu the night I got the game. I didn't have shit else to do but play the shit. I beat that game in 3 days. Straight. Pow. Obviously, I would sleep when I was sick, and I'd wake up, like when I was feeling really bad, and I'd wake up and fucking play the game. That was in 2002. In 2006, 4 years later, I'm in high school. I was a freshman, or was I a sophomore? 2005, 06. I think I was a sophomore in high school. I got sick again the day the game came out. Same shit happened. I stayed up all night, played that shit. I played that shit straight through for 2-3 days, just nonstop, beat the whole shit. That was when life was good, all right? So that flows into the teenage years. In the teenage years, like I mentioned earlier, I played football, ran track, I played a lot of sports, so I had a lot of extracurricular activities to do after school. So I couldn't just play video games all day. The weekends, I'm on it. But during the week, I had a lot of stuff to do. And that's kind of what's different nowadays is I feel like there's so many handhelds, there's so many different ways to play video games that y'all can really just play this shit all day and be straight. Like there's fucking, what are they called? Nintendo Switches. And you could just pull the same shit from what you're at home playing Pokemon, right? You can pull that bitch out and take it with you on the go and go in the bathroom in the stall where you dookie at, and you can sit down, you can play Pokemon. Sword and Shield, or whatever the new one is. Can't remember. I don't have a Switch. I want a Switch, though. That's crazy to me. I really it was not like that. The PSP, the PS Vita, you could do that, but I was already for the PSP, I think I was a teenager, but the Vita, I was an adult, so I just brought it to work and I would play on break. Now we'll go into the adult years. So here's where things are funny, and this is like now, right? I have way more responsibility now. I have an apartment that I need to pay for. I have, I date women, right? So I was in relationships before before some of the girlfriends played video games, some of them don't. It's just, they don't play video games. You can't really be on the game all day. You have to get off, you have to spend time, you have to do the thing. I can't be on the game all fucking day. But now, I just feel like I'm not behind in life, but I have more that I need to do in order to be content with what I want to do, right? You guys can help me by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so that you see videos when I post them, because the algorithm is algorithming. But if I can make my dreams a reality, I'll be able to play video games possibly as a career. But right now, I'm a trainer. I train clients, and I have to build programs. I have to talk to them about nutrition. I have a lot of things to do outside of when I'm at the gym training clients. So I don't have as much time to play video games. I still do though. Still do. Which I'm probably gonna play here in a little bit. But it's just different. Now, it's not that video games are a waste of time, but I have other things that I need to allocate my time to before I can put video games at the forefront. Video games can't be the forefront of they can't be my priority right now. But they're still a big part of my life, and I will always play video games. You hear me? Yeah, you hear me? I will always play video games until I'm through. Until it's over. Se acabó. I'm playing video games. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it. I'm gonna get some new releases, man. I'm waiting for that Wolverine to come out at the end of the year, or like fall. I'm waiting for Final Fantasy Reunion, I think it's what it's called. I'm gonna do it every time. I'm waiting for Last of Us 3, if that will ever come out. They should make a new Uncharted because the last one was good, but we need more. Right? I'm gonna get the new Call of Duty towards the end of the year so I can play with my nephew. I'm gonna get the next Mortal Kombat. See what I'm saying? I'm playing forever. This is a big part of my life. It's always been a part of my life. It will always be a part of my life. And I know some of you guys can relate. Now that's the real end of the video. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Like I said earlier, like, comment, subscribe. My videos are just gonna keep getting better, guys. I have all the gear. I have everything. I've got the lighting. I'm trying a new setup here. And we're gonna be talking about things that I love that I'm sure you guys love too. Fitness, entertainment, video games, movies, stuff like that. I'm starting some anime watch throughs. We're gonna do all kinds of fun stuff on the channel, and I want you guys there with me. So tell your friends, share this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I fuck with y'all the long way.